City officials are meeting today to discuss their plan to help those living on the street stay warm this winter. Our Faiza Amin spending the day at City Hall. She's been sitting in on those meetings. Hi, Faiza. What are you learning?
Well, Melissa, the Economic and Community Development Committee just heard from city staff who presented two reports. The first touched on the city's challenges with providing shelter spaces and their plans for the upcoming winter months. We know it's getting colder, and so what are the plans to provide shelter, supports, and housing to some of the city's most vulnerable? And so the city has been quite honest in their approach. They say that they are struggling to provide these spaces, and over the years there's been an increase in demand. They call this demand, they say it's unprecedented currently, but they did provide a plan last week talking about what they're going to be doing as winter is here and the shelter spaces that they're going to be providing for people experiencing homelessness. So that includes adding up to 180 shelter spaces, adding a 24-hour respite site for 40 people, and 4 warming centers with 170 spaces. Those centers will be open when temperatures hit -5 degrees. But advocates have called the city's plans, quote, disappointingly inadequate. We know that over 10,000 are currently being sheltered by the city, and approximately 275 people who need housing are unmatched every night in Toronto. So the city has been asking also both levels of governments for help when it comes to the number of refugee claimants who are here and who are also using shelter supports to avoid a, quote, what they say is a worsening humanitarian crisis in the winter months. Something else I do want to flag to you too, Melissa, that staff talked about today is challenges coming up with capital infrastructure pressures. That includes temporary spaces and leases that are up at the end of December 2024. So that's thousands of shelter spaces potentially. What are the city's plans, and will they be able to find more spaces as the demand is growing? So right now, we have deputants speaking with the committee, one already underway. Get this, a total of 45 people signed up to speak on this issue.
So a lot of people talking today, obviously city staffers taking part, but who exactly are we hearing from?
So 44 people in total. That includes, and it's a wide variety of people, right? That includes advocates for harm reduction, advocates who help people who are experiencing homelessness. And there are also a number of organizations here who in the past, and I'm talking about this summer specifically, who have been helping refugee claimants who have been sleeping out on city streets. We remember the visuals that we saw from the intake center on Peter Street, the amount of people who were sleeping outside. So those organizations are also going to be speaking in front of the committee here today.
I keep looking at the calendar, Faiza. It is already late October. These plans need to come together pretty quickly. We thank you for those updates. We'll have more on this coming up on City News and citynews.ca. Thanks, Faiza.